what are the alternatives to insurance? Because I think it's important that people do have some kind of plan, even if that doesn't end up being an insurance product for their pet.
I think that's a really well-phrased question, because when it comes to whether pet insurance is for everyone, the answer is no. And you have that group of people that if they can afford to self-insure and they have, lots of savings racked up, like that's great, that they can withstand multiple catastrophic bills. But that's not most people, right? I think if you also have, a much older pet that has many, what they would call pre-existing conditions, and the price is just price prohibitive at that point. It's just too expensive. Doesn't really make sense cost benefit wise. I would say that's also not a great candidate. And I think for the folks that are just a little leery of insurance and just want a little bit of help, obviously my quick plug is come to us and we'll talk you through. There's plenty of people that we said, hey, it's not a good option, but here's what you can think about instead. I do think that it's got to be a combination of having some savings and a potential like catastrophic plan where you're transferring the risk of a massive catastrophe to an insurance company and not have to withstand that or self-insure, so to speak. And that savings piece is important, but it does take time to rack up, right? I think many of us, myself included, not the best at budgeting. And so I think having that for the rainy day when you need it, but knowing that you're kind of steadily working toward that savings, I think that'll ultimately help. And then when it comes to just straight up alternatives, there's actually a couple. There's a discounted veterinary plan. So there's a company called Fursure that I've heard good things about. We haven't personally worked with them yet, but I do think as we kind of grow our company, we're going to bring on more partners, more offerings, just because ultimately people want optionality and they want to know what the best is of all the set of the things that exist out there. There are also there's also like a crowd kind of community fund called USO that people can look into. They're actively saying that they're not insurance. And I think that there's a little bit of nuance around how much it is per month and how it can change over time. But I do think that it's kind of going back to the model of like insurance at the end of the day, you're transferring risk. It's also one payment method of many. There are many other options that you could consider. And I think that savings is probably my best answer to that. But I think you don't want to be caught in a scenario where you're stuck paying multiple expensive bills over the however many year time horizon, and you're just kind of kicking yourself because at that point you won't get maximal coverage because of pre-existing conditions.